going on YouTube and seeing someone talking about the Mully and Josh drama.
Oh.
Someone did a 17-minute video on my 90-second TikTok.
Sometimes you just have a...
It was me. Well, it's good to know that he watched it. I mean, that's fucking nice. I just woke up. I am just waking up. It's really 5:15 in the afternoon. I was up all night last night. I was up all night. I did a live stream. I'm out of it. I'm out of it. But I'm gonna watch this video because I know you guys are gonna be curious. You're gonna be asking me, what do you think about this? Their interaction. Finally, we get to see it on camera. So it looks like JoshDub and Mully actually did post the video where they go over the drama, the situation that happened, and they made amends. Everything seems good. You know, Mully even followed Josh again on social media. So everything's good, guys. It's all good. It's all positivity all around, right? It's all better. But I do want to hear what they have to say to each other. I think that's going to be kind of cool to see like how they're going to interact after everything happened and how everything was dealt with online. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, I do sometimes tackle these drama videos, and I do normally focus on them when it does happen. It rarely happens, so I'm just tackling this one at the moment, and then I'm going to be posting more reaction videos. So, yep, I think this is going to probably end this little dispute between Josh and Mully, who are a couple of my favorite content creators of all time. I genuinely love these guys. I really hated seeing this happen because I was like, this better not be a falling out. It's really nothing. This should not be the cause of why these guys just decide to never talk to each other again. It would literally, like, really be pointless. So let's go ahead and dive into it. I'll give you guys my thoughts. That's it. Let's go home.
Look at us.
Look at us. First of all, thanks for everyone to tuning into this video. It's the first on this channel, and we've never really done a video like this.
This is weird.
This is weird.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah, it's because you're now sitting in the same room after everything was just said online. Yeah, it would be odd. It would be odd for sure. By the way, I do love that sign up there, Supreme. I fucking dig that.
It's weird, so I don't know. We're gonna be awkward about it, I guess. But it's about our first argument.
We had our first tiff.
We had a first tiff.
We had our first fight.
We had our first little fight.
Our first fight in 9 years.
And look, we posted.
And it was real.
We posted a couple things about it online, and it got millions and millions of views. And I was like, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't have done this.
I was trying to sneeze.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so already it does feel like, though, they're fine already. I already had a feeling everything was just going to sound worse because they were posting things online, like separately. It wasn't together. They were kind of going back and forth at each other. That's why it looked so bad instead of just handling it privately. Like, if they actually got together like this and just talked it out, I'm sure everything would have been fine. It was the fact that Mully decided that because, people were going to see the videos, he wanted to explain what really happened so people understand. And then Josh, being the one who was kind of targeted by that, decided that he needed to go ahead and respond because he has to defend himself a little bit, saying that, guys, we're kind of used to doing this stuff, so I figured it was okay. And then nobody liked each other's responses, so they decided to keep going, and that's where it became a little bit toxic.
Yeah. And kind of got a little out of hand, I feel like.
I also think that you can tell that we aren't drama YouTubers.
No, it is not. It's very uncomfortable to have, like, I don't know how people do it, man. Like, you have an argument, and then I tune in the next day, there's like 4,000 comments telling me what's wrong with my friendship.
Yeah. No, people were just, obviously saying, like, guys, this is what you're doing wrong. This is how you resolve it. Fucking fix it, because nobody wants to see it. I have myself been in maybe like, well, you guys know. My situation, though, was never supposed to happen. I thought I was being nice to somebody, and it just went downhill fast. You guys know. So my situation, when it came to the drama that I was involved in, was I was never supposed to happen, and I tried to help. I tried to fix it, and it just made it worse. So I was in a very awkward situation, and it got so much worse. But with this, these guys are at least buddies. These guys are at least friends. They've known each other for years. So that's probably the difference. Is that with my situation, it was a bit of a. This guy was a stranger, and I was trying to help, but it took a really bad turn. With this situation, these guys are friends. These guys are buddies, and they could have easily had fixed this behind the scene, but it just didn't happen that way. Yeah, they're not used to doing this kind of stuff. I think maybe once or twice there had been back and forth in their videos between each other, and most of the time, they'll just say, "Oh no, it's not a big deal. It's all fine, guys. It was just a little bit of a heated moment." But this is like the first time I think ever that people were actually concerned, right? Concerned with what was going to happen if it continued to go down this route, because people have seen it happen so many times, with content creators and whatever have you. Yeah, I'm not necessarily a drama channel in the sense that I like to start fights with other content creators. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't want to be in a heated argument with anybody. I just give my thoughts and opinions about things that I want to give my thoughts and opinions about things, and I display it online, which can open me up to drama. Yeah. I actually, people have been encouraging me. I should make a shirt that says Harbinger of Drama with my face on it. And I'm sitting here like, I might do it just because it'd be a good laugh. But other than that, I'm not like intentionally an outright drama channel in the sense that I want to pick fights with people, because I don't. I don't want to pick fights with people. I just give my thoughts, and unfortunately, that can lead into drama.
I've never had that sort of shit happen before. I don't know how people can live like that.
It's not fun.
I think
it's not fun. As somebody who has been involved with serious, like, a back and forth online, I hated it. I dread that entire time period. It's not fun. I hated it.
very important to note also that this was real.
Yes.
We did have a real fight, and the bus incident was 100% real.
Let's go over let's go over what happened. Obviously, by now, you guys have seen...
You tell it from your point of view, then I'll tell it from my point of view.
Okay. Right, so you guys have obviously seen the incident now, Probably not a huge deal compared to some fights that I'm sure you have seen on the internet.
Yeah,
but
I feel like some of you were actually expecting us to, like...
beat the living shit out of each other.
Yeah.
But look,
No, me and Andrew Stone Rock, we had talked about it. A lot of people were thinking that this was going to be a fist fight because of how it was built up, but it was kind of where me and Andrew Stone Rock thought it was going to be. And by the way, go give Andrew Stone Rock some support. The guy's almost at 6,000 subs. Fucking awesome. Me and him, we kind of looked at each other like, this is going to be a shove fight. And it was. I don't think the boys would ever want to physically like hurt themselves. I don't think that Mully would ever throw a punch at narrator or Josh, no matter how bad it got, because these guys are genuinely friends at the end of the day, and they would never want to like actually hurt any of them. So what Mully did in the video was, if you guys have seen it by now, and it actually is a snippet that they posted themselves publicly, Mully does get on top of Josh and shoves him down to the floor. And he says, "Fuck off," several times. And he does shove him back several times. And it's very obvious it was legitimate. It's very obvious that Josh was just so fucking drunk that he didn't realize he was really pissing Mully off at that point. So I do believe Mully when he says it was 100% real. Just because they're content creators and big content creators, that does not mean everything they absolutely say is a lie. I know it's easy to assume that everything is a lie, but to me, I look at this like these guys are human beings. They got into a situation that was a bit too toxic. They got in a situation that was a bit stressful, and they started shoving each other.
Just also say, let's clear that up real quick. If that was to happen, I would have won still.
Me and Andrew said the same. That's fucking funny, man. Now, Josh has been working out, though. Give credit where credit's due. Josh has been working out. The guy is like, he's really getting fucking, I mean, good for him, man. Good for you. Fucking badass how much you've been putting the work in. But Mully is he's like a tank. I don't even think anybody that I know could probably fucking actually beat him in an actual fight if it broke out.
I don't know, I've been hitting the gym pretty hard lately.
It wasn't like that, though.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't like that, but it was like, it was emotional. It was probably the furthest we've gone in that direction. So from my point of view, right, and obviously this is coming out after episode 4 of Unhinged, and you'll notice in episode 4 of Unhinged, we shook hands at the start, but I'm not in the rest of the video, right? And that's because there was still some tension there. You know what I mean? I was hiding out a little bit, and I was like, "Fucking hell!" I was like having a bit of a meltdown, I was had that anxiety, but I was also kind of like, oh man, I hope I haven't f***ed up anything here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I woke up the next day.
Wow.
And I didn't remember it. So I woke up the next day and Robbie comes up to me and he was like, shit went down last night with you and Mully. He said,
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I could just imagine Josh's face the second he gets told, you fucked up a little bit, bud. What did I do this time?
what he told me was Mully threw you from one end of the bus to the other and like laid into you. And I was like, what? I don't feel anything. I feel like I would have like a broken tooth or a black eye or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, this happened. And then actually when I watched the Unhinged episode for the first time, I was pleasantly surprised. Because
Yeah.
I was told that it was a lot worse than that.
Well, you know, it's crazy you say that too, because from my point of view, it seemed real hectic.
Yeah.
But I also imagine that's because we were drunk. It was 6 a.m. Juicy had the speakers blaring to the point where they were distorted, and it was dark, and it was just hectic.
Yeah.
You know?
So my point of view from this was Unhinged, right? First of all,
Okay, so a lot of that stuff could have added into Mully's trying to get some sleep. Fucking music's blaring. They're all already drinking. Josh was probably the worst of them. Sometimes you just got to know when to fucking ease up on the partying, man. Get your sleep. Get your fucking rest. Take a break. Because that shit is going to pile up. People need their sleep. And I'm not trying to act like a dad. You know, these guys are adults. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They don't have to listen to a single... But that's what I would do. I would be like, okay, guys, let's party like here or there, but we really need our days to fucking relax and rest and make sure that we're ready to go on several days of this week. Because, again, if you're just constantly partying and constantly filming, that shit's going to get stressful, and that's going to piss off somebody at some point.
we have those sorts of nights off camera pretty much at least once every trip that we go out together, you know?
Yes.
Maybe not like that level of like f***ing with each other, but that is like the unhinged content. We weren't putting it on for camera. That is we have those sorts of nights semi-regularly.
Oh, without the fighting.
Yeah, without the fighting,
Yeah.
obviously.
Getting a bit silly, we definitely get a bit silly. I think the difference is that for the whole trip, none of us have ever had like a camera in our face 24/7. We've never, here's the thing, few dot points. We've never had a camera in our face 24/7. Usually when we do trips together, we're in a house or
And keep in mind, they've had cameras in their faces like 24/7 with like their 24-hour fucking video. I know they're meaning like, you know, for like a week or so on end while just doing this one trip. Yeah. That to me, I would have gotten aggravated. Like everything that they are doing this entire trip, including the unhinged stuff, which is the stuff that would be like the behind the scenes kind of moments that you get extra. You have a camera in your face and everything is going to be recorded. That right there alone would stress me out. I mean, I would want my breaks. Okay, I'd film a video for an entire day. That's fine. But then I'd be like, all right, turn the camera off. I'm going to bed. I need to relax. But if the camera's still rolling and it's like going on weeks on end, yeah, that's gonna get stressful.
a hotel, and we can kind of just scurry away to our own little area and just
Unwind
be
for a
on our
second.
own, because alone time is very important.
You didn't have that.
And
didn't have it.
we didn't have that because we're on a bus together, right? Third of all is we also haven't seen each other for a while. And every time we never see each other for a while, we get a bit silly.
It gets crazy.
You know what I mean?
We miss each other.
It's literally 5 dudes on a bus just around.
I feel like we're not one of those group channels that gets together just for work. I
also think we're missing the most important thing.
What's that?
One of the comments said, just sit down and have a drink together and talk about it. So I'm going to go get a drink.
Okay, get a grog.
You want a grog?
Shout out to grog.
You need to have one too.
Cold ones. Thanks, mate.
This was one of the comments. We are going to go through the comments as well because
They're pretty funny.
you
some of
guys
them.
seem to know more about our relationship than we do at this point.
Look,
I mean, everything I've just said has pretty much been spot on to everything you're explaining. Like, yeah, the bus. You fucking take away the bus and actually just got hotel rooms and you guys could just go into your own separate rooms, you probably would not have had this happen. Probably would have been just, you know, unwinding in your own rooms, relaxing in your own rooms. Would have been a lot less stressful. Even if the camera guy watched it a couple times and he said, hey, how's it going, man? Would not have been the same because you guys were not in that compacted space with a camera guy right there with a camera 24/7 watching you guys do all this stuff. Yeah, would have been so much easier.
first of all, let me just put this out there.
One of the things that the comments said was just have a drink and sit down and talk about it.
Let me put this out there first of all. Trip of Terror wasn't filmed a year ago. It's still quite fresh on our minds, right?
It's very fresh.
It was filmed quite recently. And when it's true when like people noticed that we were like doing stuff together, and then we had a bit of beef, and the reason was because we did review, like we reviewing these episodes like a week before they come out.
Yes.
And when you're watching them again, yeah, it brought back a lot of old memories and shit like that, and things were definitely like tense. And yeah, like I said, episode 4, I'm not in that video because things were a little bit tense.
Yeah,
I locked in for the horror episode because I was like, bro, we spent $1 million on this trip.
You have 2 minutes of screen time in the
And
unhinged.
keep that in mind
Yeah,
too, guys.
and it's me.
You got to keep that in mind. And I'm sure they're going to mention this. When you film videos and you're spending, like they do, millions of dollars on your videos, it's not as easy as just not posting it. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of fucking time of your life that you've spent with the guys, and you put these videos together. You can't just and you can, but they probably didn't want to because they're content creators at the end of the day. You know, they are getting views from this. They are getting, their paychecks from this. So they don't want to just delete some videos. I get that side of it. But at the same time, I do feel like maybe they should not have posted that. Right? I do. There's a part of me that's like, you should have avoided that episode specifically. I understand why they didn't do it. They went ahead and posted it anyways. But I really feel like you could have saved yourself a lot of problems if you just removed it in general.
Me being like, I got too drunk last night.
The rest of it has been Eddie in a field taking photos.
Yeah. No, so we do actually have... now, here's the thing. I haven't seen the other episodes yet, but I know that we had a more in-depth chat about it.
We did.
Later in the Unhinged. It might be episode 5, might be episode 6.
I don't know. Also, there are contributing factors to this too. First of all, before we filmed Trip of Terror, we'd already been in America for 3 weeks, away from home, out of routine. That was already hard because most of these trips that we do, we have them planned before we get to America. Sometimes we get to America and shit isn't done for them. Some shit didn't arrive for videos, or like the locations or wherever we're supposed to film suddenly back out and we're scrambling to figure out what to do. In this particular instance, you have that factor. We've already been away from home for 3 weeks, right? Me and Josh work very well together in routine. He has a routine at his house in his life. I have a routine in mine. And when we go away, it f***s the whole thing up. And it's very hard to get back into it.
Like we've got, all in all, 4 channels, 3 product lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like Wednesdays for our second channels. Thursdays are for gaming. Fridays are for gaming.
That's right.
Tuesdays, business meetings.
That's right.
You know, everything's on a very tight schedule. And if anything comes and one of those things up...
Yeah.
Like
Also, Battlefield 6 came out.
Battlefield
But I'm going to get
6
to play that.
That up everything again.
No, but also the second thing is like, in this trip particular, our biggest trip ever, financially. What you guys don't see behind the scenes is like usually when we do these America trips, we do them pretty frequently. We've been doing this for 5 years now. Each trip costs about $200,000 roughly. In hotels, we got not just the 5 boys in hotels. We got fucking 5 staff members that come with us.
Our first videos, like we'd do hot wings. It was like $200 in KFC. Now we're doing like Mario Party 3 with like 16 camera people and like drive-in. Like
and that
mini
shit's
games.
like those
was
Mario Party videos cost $50,000 to make.
Yeah,
literally. Like, so we're not complaining also about like bumping up the production. All we're saying is like this illustrates like there's more stress involved.
And a lot of moving parts. So if like, you know, we plan a $50,000 Mario Party day and we're setting up and pulling down mini games all day, and the inflatable car thing doesn't come, then like everyone has to do overtime, and overtime is like
more money,
several $1,000s an hour because there's 8 camera people. You know what I mean?
So that, but
I get that. I get it. That sounds like a lot to be on the mind. I get that. You know, you need your shit for your videos and all that, and you know, you just want to bring out the best content you can for your audiences because their audience does love them. Their audience does really enjoy their content, so they want to make sure everything is cool and awesome for their audiences. That's what happens when you become bigger and bigger and bigger, is that you just start thinking about, like, what can we do for them that's even better and better and better? And that's what they want to do. They put their money back into their channels, which is always awesome to hear. You know, they actually do give a shit about their content. I get it. These guys were doing a lot. They were in that bus. I feel like the bus is the biggest factor.
Is like, now we have the Trip of Terror, which is our biggest, most ambitious project ever. And we didn't want to make these videos just like normal haunted videos. We wanted to make them like crazy, right? So we literally spend $1 million right? The tour buses that we had, the two of them were $100,000 just for the buses. Just for the buses was $100,000, and we're very thankful that we're in the position where we can afford to do this and make content for you guys. But it also adds a certain amount of stress.
I thought it was 300 for both of them,
No, it
including
was
the
50K
drivers.
each.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I asked about that. It was 50K. But anyway, it's like
Queen Mary was like 20 grand.
Queen Mary, bro. Even so that adds it. It's like you got to book the spots, right? The Queen Mary, especially, was like $20,000 because it's a business that is active, which means it has.
So remember when Ginger had mentioned how much Elton had spent on the Queen Mary? There's more confirmation right there that they do charge an insane amount of money to film there. Hell no. I have a lot of respect for people who can do it. I would never, even if I was a fucking big successful channel, I would never spend 20 grand on the Queen Mary. No, thank you. No, thank you. That's just not for me.
Actual random members of the public staying there in the hotel.
It's a hotel. It's a fully live hotel.
And the only way that we could stay there is if we booked half the rooms.
And we had to book out all the ghost tours so that we weren't just standing there with like a fake.
Yeah, and Elton wanted to make sure they had access, I think, to the entire thing. So he, of course, had to pay a lot of money. 20 grand. 20 grand for one night of recording. I'm not sure if it was one night. They weren't specific.
Family of four.
Yeah, because the Queen Mary does ghost tours with whoever wants to do them. So we had to book all the slots that night so no random people were doing ghost tours.
And that's what it's like with these places. But the point of this is, what we're saying is, there was a lot of stress.
There's a lot of stress financially, and it's not even financially. It's like you can pay for shit, and if someone isn't doing their job right, it f***s the whole thing up, right? So we're on a very strict timeline. The bus drivers like Lee, he could only drive for 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
And we had a certain time frame to get to each destination. So if we're stuck in traffic for 2 hours, that puts the rest of the trip behind.
And we weren't just turning up with a camera like we have every other horror video. We had to turn up and rig the whole thing with security cameras.
Yeah.
Which was an insane, like, pulling out for production. Alana and Dose.
Yeah.
And, like, Kat and all the others. Like, especially like the Queen Mary, like running cables for like hundreds of meters of cable, like a kilometer, 3 kilometers of cable or something like that we're running.
No, I thought it was like 10.
10 kilometers of cables.
Yeah.
Running them through like 100-year-old haunted axe houses and shit like that. And like, then we finished filming at 6 a.m. and not for production. Production gets in there and they do a teardown of all the, because we got to get on the bus and go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and everyone was like pulling their hair out, you know?
Yeah.
So all of this stuff building up.
Anyway, point being, that's one issue. The next is, on our off days, we had nothing to do because we were driving for 10 hours a day.
Jesus.
And so we just were partying, we were having fun, right?
And we also were like, we're going to make sure this vlog content is...
There's no point in bringing Robbie and paying him 10 grand. Let's be honest, it costs about 10 or 15 grand to bring Robbie because we had to fly him to America.
Yeah.
We had to put him up in hotels. We had to get him food allowance. We had to pay him a wage. Just having one cameraman there to film a behind the scenes costs a lot of money, right? And we also, you can't just like, our lives are genuinely just entertaining. When I say that, I mean like,
it's just fast paced.
Regardless of if we were trying to make content for behind the scenes, random shit was just going to happen anyway.
Because we're just adventurous, silly fellas.
And we always just do dumb shit. So like genuinely, the like unhinged episodes was just us genuinely. That's how we are all the time.
Here's what it was to me, right? I've always been a fan of like Viva La Bam, Jackass, like that sort of shit. And I've always been like fascinated by like tour bus shenanigans and shit like that. And to me, I know we've kind of like stopped being as crazy on the Boys channel. We've kind of like moved in a different direction. But to me, the Boys Unhinged was a chance to bring that all back out again and not have to worry about monetization and everything like that, you know?
Yeah.
It was really like the perfect thing. And I've experimented with vlogs on my like Dub Daddy channel and I really like them, but I felt like the Boys channel should have a version of that, you know?
Yeah. You also have to understand that we're 5 separate people.
Yeah.
Here's the thing for me, right? The fight was the perfect storm. It was the climax. It was the climax of weeks of bullshit. And it was, you know.
I remember.
You also got to remember too that on the bus, we were all sleeping all day. We were in this weird.
Well, because we were like, we're basically working like night shift.
Yes, we were filming from like 7 p.m. to 6 a.m., sleeping all day while the bus drove, and then up all night, every fucking night for like 2 weeks. And I don't usually do that, right? You do sometimes.
I do. I'm a night owl.
Currently, right now, you're in this like sleep schedule at this point of recording this where you're going to bed at like 10 a.m.
When I get mega creative, it's like I'm on drugs.
Yeah.
And right now I'm like
you
I'm music and like trying to provide direction for the rest of the tot. And I can't sleep, man. I just think of ideas all the time.
You slept last night because we had to film this today.
I slept for I got 2.5 hours of sleep last night.
Point being is, I'm not like that,
No.
right? I love sleeping, bro. If it was up to me, I'd be unconscious 18 hours a day. But I just got so much shit to do. I love.
I literally slept till 5 in the afternoon today. I was up all night and I just said, fuck yeah, I'm sleeping. It's one of the reasons why you'll never see me be a part of like a Jackass kind of thing. Because no, I got to have my moments.
Sleeping.
Yeah, I get you.
I love it, right?
So it hits you different when I'm like, everyone wake up.
Yeah, and so usually, you know me. You know me better than anyone. I usually would not have a problem with that, right? The difference is I don't have my own space. We're up all night.
Yep.
You know, which we finish a shoot and we're cooked, and then someone wants to film a short. Like the production will come in and be like,
it's a grind, guys.
you guys have to film like we literally filmed at one of the haunted locations and it's like 7 a.m. and our production was like, you guys now have to film a brand deal or whatever the we were doing, right? So it's like you just get no time, right? And then you're sleeping, and because the bus is moving, you're waking up and whatever. But it was like the perfect storm. If I don't get sleep for like 2 nights, bro, I'm
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, look, like from my point of view, I was like, let's make sure this is exciting. Let's like be who we usually are and get silly all the time. I was also
It's one of the reasons why I'm like this. These guys are creators, and to them, to at least seems like one of them, that's what they felt they were doing. And Mully, it's not like Mully again could not understand that, but he needs his sleep. So Josh, being who he is, where he's trying to get creative, he's trying to have fun, he's trying to get stuff for the videos kicked out, he pushed it a little bit too far by getting shit-faced drunk. And he thought it was okay, and it just was not okay. That specific time, it was not okay.
on like a huge, and I got up a lot, but I was on a big health grind, so I was getting up early and like going for runs, so I was already like up at the crack of dawn and super energized.
No, I also think that's like another contributing factor to this night is like, whether you like it or not, you have changed your diet and exercise routine so crazy that like alcohol affects you real quick now.
Yeah.
Because usually back in the day it was like we would be partying a lot.
It was the first like.
You have like a really bad intolerance now to alcohol, and it just cooks you straight away.
I'd been It was definitely the perfect storm there because I'd been on like the craziest health grind of my life, not touching alcohol or anything like that, and I'd been doing like 12-hour overnight things, and I hadn't.
Yeah. You want to start dieting and working out, avoid alcohol at all costs. That shit will put the weight back on fast. Oh my God. I dropped alcohol because I was actually, for a while, all I was drinking was like wine coolers and shit every fucking weekend. And every time I was off. And I literally could see myself gaining the weight again slowly. I dropped it. I'm on like a water diet, and I drink just straight black coffee. And I walk all the time at work. So I'm slowly starting to just lose the weight again. And yeah, alcohol was not helping.
Had alcohol in ages, and then we that day we just drank for like 14 hours. And I want you to know, I basically remember nothing past drink. Last thing I remember was daytime having a tequila shot when we were bowling. That's the last thing I remember.
Yeah, we started drinking at 10 a.m.
I have little flashes of memory of like getting in that girl's car and trying to drive it, and like getting kicked out of the bar and being like, what the why was I kicked out?
We started drinking at 10 a.m. We finished drinking at 6 a.m.
And then
next day.
And then it's like 30 seconds of black, and Robbie's like, you up last night, brother.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no.
No, I think for me it's like, I think it's just like you have some sort of like exhaustion when you do these trips. It just lingers, you know? And we just did 3 weeks of filming already, and like then we're on the bus, and it's just that one day where you just, everything compounds.
Yeah, and the other stressful thing was, right, and I really want to make this as clear as possible because I see this in the comments all the time, and we've seen the John Wolfe video. I've seen all the debunking videos. I personally, I think they're great. I love watching them and I love their theories. He has this theory where he's like, Dose is the mastermind behind all the faking. That's great. I love that. Please do more of that shit because it's kind of good for us as well. But I just want to put this out there. The added pressure of the whole thing was that we don't script things and we don't fake things. So it's like, this is kind of a scary thing to do because you just...
Now, I'm not sure what I should feel about that because, I mean, there are several videos out there of debunking showing people running behind you down the hallways. This is for one of your older videos, but I'm pretty sure you guys were pretty open about that. You did have people in the videos. I'm pretty positive. So there were shots of you actually like putting people in the buildings to like do stuff behind the scenes. So you can't blame people for thinking that you guys do script stuff because it's already been proven that you have in certain videos. Like Eddie being the dude in the clown costume for that scare. Regardless of whether that was paranormal or not, that was scripted, right? Or having the guy in the bathroom stall when one of you tried to open the door and they shut it in that Japanese hotel video. So it's a very well-known fact that you guys have scripted stuff in paranormal videos. So you can't blame them. But that is good to hear that you do love the debunking stuff. I actually do. That brings a smile to my face that you actually do it. But I wouldn't say a lot of them are theories. I would say that, no, there are some that have been proven. That's what I'll say about that.
Spend $1 million on a trip, and it's like, what if we go there and nothing happens?
Yeah.
What if we go there and nothing happens, and we have 6 episodes of like nothing? Because we've had those videos before, and we posted them. We posted the video with Charlie.
We post horror videos where nothing happens either, just to be completely transparent.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you do go to spots and nothing happens.
And it ends up being like a cool, spooky exploration video, but 100% legit, guys. All right, just throwing that out there.
It sounds so cringe, though, when you say that all the time.
This is leading into something, right? Because, and we actually started thinking this on the bus, and I think we talk about it in the next Strip of Terror episode, but our first fight ever, and what you'll see ends up happening on the bus, like when you get like bad juju and bad spirits, what happens? They say your relationships go to shit. People start acting differently. Bad things start happening. And guess what? That whole bus trip was a fucking shit show, you know? I remember Lana coming up to me and being like, I hope the boys are still together after this. The bus just started filling with people.
I get where he's going for. That, you know, potentially, I don't think he outright just said the paranormal is responsible. Obviously, they both just listed all the factors of why rationally this would happen. So I think it's easy to go for the logic here instead of just the paranormal. It would be easy to blame the paranormal, but you guys literally explained every fucking reason why it would be a horrible idea, and then you still went through with it. So it does make a lot of sense. You guys are huge content creators. You don't want to bore your audiences. The reality of ghost hunts or paranormal investigations is that nothing really happens. I wouldn't go 99%, 95% of the time, nothing happens in these things. And you're relying on faulty equipment to help kind of entertain you guys. And that's the reality. It's one of the reasons why you would never see me spend $20,000 on a fucking ship. I'm a very honest person. So if nothing happens, that investigation, I'm going to outright say nothing happened. I did not experience any paranormal activity. I already judged the shit out of a lot of the equipment, and it's faulty equipment, but I get why you use them. I get it. It's not like I'm not going to sit here and not understand. I get it. But to you guys, you feel like everything you're doing is legitimate. Everything is real. Because we are, yes, using this equipment, but everything that we are trying to do is real. You guys did fuck up on that one story, though. Yeah, you got that whole, whatever his name is, Steven. I can't remember his guys at the Goatman's Bridge. Yeah, that never even happened. So there was that. That was a fuck up. Most of the time, I mean, again, me and Andrew Stone Rock, we fucking obliterated that Goatman's Bridge video. No offense to you and the boys, but we absolutely obliterated that. We were even Googling shit while watching, and we were like finding out and debunking while we were watching. It was pretty insane. Yeah.
Piss, and the whole bus smelled like piss. Me and Mully had our first physical fight. You'll see it in the later Trip of Terror episodes, but something that absolutely was crazy to me happens. And very quickly we were like...
What is it?
It's the crash.
Oh, the crash. Yeah.
And you wait till you see how this thing all wraps up.
Also, the other thing
I
too
couldn't
is
be
like
happier. It, like it's fucking.
the other
it's
thing
like
too
a
is
movie, bro.
This is all everything you just said about like spirits and all that bullshit, deteriorating relationships. It's all still skepticism.
Spirits and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
We don't actually know. I don't think anyone's ever really truly going to know, like, if it was because we were asking entities to follow us. Man, who knows?
But let's be honest. It's a pretty crazy coincidence, the shit that ends up
That's what I'm
happening.
about to say. Is it's like, yes, we've never captured someone being flung up in the fucking air like in the movies, or like, but there is some serious mental changes that happen in these. On this trip specifically, there was some serious mental changes from narrative. Like, we've never seen him so.
But you kind of acted out the most, but you also had the most shit going on in the Trip of Terror videos.
Yeah.
You know, it was a very like Mully centric
That Trip of
story.
Terror was basically about me.
Yeah.
And we didn't even. And by the way, guys, we had no. I know it's very easy to say this because people still probably won't believe it, but like when we're going into the Trip of Terror, we had the 6 locations planned and no story.
Yeah.
We didn't know what the was going to happen.
We were like, I was like, because we started talking about the Trip of Terror, like.
By the way, also, one of the other contributing factors is this isn't just $1 million trip, bro. We planned this for a year and a half.
We started, I've seen a lot of people comparing it to Hell Week. I would compare it to Hell Week too, but we started talking about this before we knew Sam and
Well, yeah, it's very obvious. It's very obvious you guys got a lot of inspiration from Sam and Colby. Even the thumbnails are very similar to Sam and Colby.
Colby, or knew what a Sam and Colby was. Obviously, we're really good friends with them now, and I love working with those guys. And their Hell Weeks are always bangers. They're always back. Their Conjuring series made me fans of those guys. You know, back with the Cody and Satori ABCD kind of stuff. But
Pretty sure, yeah, even the boys didn't believe in Cody and Satori, so take that for what you will. Yeah.
yeah,
It's like the first thing people think of.
initially the trip looked a little bit different when we first started talking about it. But the challenge was you need to have 6 places available that week. But, you know, we couldn't get them all in 2 weeks, you know? So it was really filmed like one after the other.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy with the spots we did go to. And the story that ends up unraveling, literally, I couldn't have written a better one myself. It come out so perfect.
That's what I was about to say, though.
Oh,
is
dude.
we didn't have a plot or a story. We had 6 places and a bus, and we had to figure it out. The entire Trip of Terror arc is based off of coincidence after coincidence after coincidence. The story wrote itself, which is weird.
Yeah. It come out crazy. It has a twist at the end and everything.
And I know,
It's
like,
nice.
there's a lot, you know, the bad thing about you and YouTube videos is so many people have ruined it for people in terms of, like, the trust aspect. Because there's a lot of channels out there who do fake shit, and then they'll make a video like this and just try and, like,
Push it more.
convince the audience that it's real. But what I'm saying to you right now is, like, this entire thing, not 1 inch of it was scripted. It is all real.
I believe
and
that.
everything.
I believe that, but again, you guys in the beginning of this video 100% just debunked anything that paranormal related. You guys just explained personally why you had issues, why you had problems. You guys didn't have your own spaces. You just literally told everybody why you were all so stressed out and so ready for this to be over with. You guys were not used to doing something like this. It made sense. It all makes sense logically. You just answered your own question. It's not paranormal. It's just you guys were fucking done. You guys were ready to be have your own spaces. You guys, it made sense.
We went through was just crazy.
Yeah.
Even like the Gansfield method. A lot of people, like, the first episode for me personally was like the most insane because the Gansfield method was this like thing that Juicy was yapping on about. He said he did it and it was nuts, and so we tried it, right? That, and a lot of people could be like, "Oh, Mully was faking it. Mully was faking it." I legitimately hallucinated.
Yeah. I just want to put this out there as well. It ended up being a huge hit. I've seen a lot of people asking for more of it. We do it again in the Trip of Terror, okay? Just throwing that out there. We do it again,
Yeah.
okay?
So anyway, all that yapping we just did for 20 minutes is relevant because it added to the stress and conflict on the bus.
All right, let's go to me and you. I think, bro, we're boys. Do you know what I mean? And we've been talking like every day for 10 years.
Literally 10 years next year, 2016 is when we met.
I think that, like, you know, it was really touching seeing all the comments. I think we're always going to be good, man. We're always going to be good.
Of course.
You know? And, like, especially now, looking back on it and, like, seeing some of the recent episodes, it's like, it was nothing. You know what I mean?
No.
We just got smashed and we got a little too drunk and, well, I got a little too drunk and there was a lot of pressure going on. And now the Trip of Terror's coming out and people are like enjoying each episode more and more. And it's like...
Also, you guys went crazy in the comments with the TikTok videos. Okay, this is... oh, God, this is so cringe. I will say this. I'm sorry that I aired the laundry.
It's all right.
Oh.
And I know you responded, and we kind of just went into this like weird spiral. But you guys in the comments really think you know our relationship better than we do. It's crazy.
No.
Should we read some?
I never assumed I knew your guys' relationship more, but like I do feel like if you had avoided posting it, it probably would have just, you guys would have talked personally. Because this to me is not surprising. I already had a feeling if this is all you guys did in the beginning, like you just pulled Josh to the side or just you guys talked about it, it would have been fine. But it doesn't sound like that's what you did. You just guys were too mad at each other at the time because you guys were doing the Trip of Terror to even want to do this. But this is no surprise to me. I'm not saying I know your guys' relationship better than you guys do, obviously. But I have a buddy of mine who we've done similar things. Okay, I have a buddy that is one of my best friends of all time. I'd take a bullet for this guy any fucking day of the week. Like, I love him like he's my actual brother. So, we've done similar shit. Yeah, no, this is not a surprise. This is one of the reasons why I love The Boys, though, is because I relate to this. So, yeah.
I was a little surprised to see. I was like, what the f***? I didn't think we were doing it like this, but, oh. And I did a reply, and I didn't think the reply was that bad. And then I woke up the next day. Like, I was just kind of like speaking my mind, which I've never really done in TikTok. Like, I wake up the next day, 2 million views. I was like, oh no.
No, me too. And can I also just say, like,
I was like, oh no.
I never want to do this again because, like, I don't think I've had that much anxiety from like
having a shit in public.
Yeah,
we're not built for that, man,
dude. But also, it's funny to see like the comments kind of not pick sides. It was more just like...
That was nice.
Like one of the top comments, bro, 15,000 likes, please don't break up. I need both my dads.
That was nice. You know, there was a couple comments that were taking sides, but the vast majority was like crying emojis.
People like, this reminds me of my parents' divorce. Also, the amount of DMs I've got from people being like, you guys will work it out. Just sit down and talk to each other.
We're doing it.
Yeah. There's a lot of... There's so many... There's like 20,000 comments. I can't even read them all. The ghosts are tearing them apart. Who won the fight? I did, but that doesn't matter.
I couldn't even see straight. You know what?
It kind of does feel like that's where it's going. And it's pretty much rightfully so. I mean, the reason why it even broke out in a negative light was because Josh got shit-faced drunk and was pushing up against Mully. So, like, there's just no getting around it, obviously. He just couldn't handle his alcohol as much as he used to. So, unfortunately, he just kind of caught Mully. But unfortunately, he just kind of caught Mully in a bad time.
Something else as well.
Oh, you put that picture up. Whoever's editing, just put that picture of,
And the trailer?
The trailer where the girl goes...
That sounds good.
Yeah, where the girl goes, I need to come.
Yeah.
You're like, that sounds good to me. And your eyes are like facing this way.
Yeah.
That was you, bro.
Yeah, look, I forgot to say, episode 4, there was something that we didn't capture on camera, right? So the next day after that...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And the bus was trashed, the speakers would come out, like production was kind of like, hey guys, the bus drivers are upset. And we were like, I was kind of like, man, they've had like Tommy Lee on this bus. Are you telling me we set the standard for trashing? A little proud, but also a little bit like, uh-oh, don't want to this trip up. But the boys had their first like serious meeting, turned the cameras off.
Actual sit down. And this and I was crying.
It was
Eddie
emotional.
was crying. Robbie was crying. We were all just crying.
And you were like, I remember you being like, if this is how it's going to be, I'm catching a flight to the next location. I'm getting off this bus.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, man. And I apologized. I was basically just like, I up. I'm really sorry. I don't want to like make this a bad experience for everyone. I talked to production and they were like, oh, we thought it was funny. And I was like, okay, well, I just apologized because everyone was upset. But
Yeah.
I felt like a real piece of shit in that moment.
Are you saying that for the camera or are you being serious?
No, I'm being real serious. I don't know if it was the anxiety, but that's why I was like, in episode 4, I was just like, what am I doing,
Well,
man?
I felt bad too because I was like, I'm not a violent person. I definitely wouldn't put hands up. Your friends are supposed to be the ones you defend, not the ones you attack. And then we literally like had that little scuffle, and I was like, man.
Yeah. I remember the first thing I did when I woke up was give you a hug and say sorry.
Yeah. Robbie was crying. I punched Robbie.
Did you?
Yeah. Do you know about that?
No.
Oh, so like Robbie, you're fucking all wet and sticky, pulling me out of bed.
By the way, you said I pissed myself in the video. All the comments are saying it. I just poured beer all over myself.
I don't know. I was too. Remember, like I don't know what the happened. Nah, but like the part where like you're on me and then I get you out. I'm like, and then I punch you, and then I'm like, turn the camera off, Robbie. So then after the camera cuts, obviously this is on film because the camera wasn't filming. Juicy like pulls you out of the hallway, and the music's still.
Okay, so Juicy did get involved. I was wondering about that. He probably saw what was going on, so Juicy was probably not as drunk as they were, and Mully wasn't as drunk as Josh was, but he pulled him away from him, yeah.
Blaring, right? And I said, Robbie closes the
God,
door.
it sounds chaotic, dude. Just
Yeah, it was nuts. It was like a fucking like. So anyway, after we have our little biff, Robbie cuts the camera. Juicy like drags you out the hallway. Robbie closes the door, and I close my curtains, right? Literally about 5 minutes.
Did he think Josh was coming back, so he punched fucking Robbie?
Later. Now, at the time, I didn't know this until he explained it to me. Robbie, all the music turns off. Juicy starts talking to you about going to bed. Robbie, I hear the door open, the sliding door. And I didn't know it was Robbie. I thought it was you, right? And I'm like,
fuck.
No.
no.
He comes and he starts filling with my curtain. And he goes, I see his fingers coming. He goes to rip the curtain open. I just punched him straight in the legs. I said, get the because I thought it was you.
Yeah.
And I opened the door and it's Robbie like,
Oh, no.
I've just come to see how you were, man.
Oh, shit.
Probably felt like shit.
Man, that was Robbie's first boys trip.
Got fucking first boys trip and got fucking punched.
And bro,
Dude,
was traumatized.
The worst part is when we decided to bring him for the trip, I was like, dude, you're going to have the best time. I was like, these boys
I think if you ask him right now, he would. He
no,
did
he
have the
thinks
best.
it's lit. I talk to him about it all the time. He's like, because I talked to him about filming more trips. He's like, I'm down.
I will say like
Okay.
after episode.
Okay, so even if he got punched, he was kind of like, he understood the situation, so it wasn't like he was, heard about it.
4 of behind the scenes, the unhinged stuff. Episode 5, I feel like we started like mending things properly again. We had a proper conversation. We got into a good place.
We're in this weird bar with like these weird slot machines. We were really drunk and
We had
kind
like a
of
conversation.
pulled each other aside and was like,
And then like the other boys, it turns out, were having some issues that I didn't realize. And like it ended up being really therapeutic and wholesome. And it was a chance for us to like, really like kind of get all the grievances out. And I feel like it made our friendship stronger as a whole. But then it was like a bit. And then when we started reviewing the videos is when, I don't know, it brought up some of those feelings again. And we kind of stopped talking a little bit.
whenever I had bad experiences, I don't like to bring them up again. And then we have to review every video. And it's just like,
Yeah. And you're living through it and all the memories and stuff like that. And
yeah, I'm never doing that again. If you guys ever want to go on a bus again, you can do it on your own.
Look, you're a little different with that sort of thing, I would do it again in a heartbeat. It was some of my like favorite memories ever was on that bus. And I know some of the other boys like feel the same, but I know you being cooped up in any situation we've ever been where you end up like cooped up or in really close quarters with someone.
I'm claustrophobic, so I personally would not want to do it, especially for that long. I would do it for like maybe a day or two, and I'd be done.
You start to crack a little bit.
Oh,
Always. And like Alana and Dose, everyone put bets on who was going to crack. I think it's actually recorded somewhere.
Is it?
First. And you were the top pick
I'm not ashamed of
by
that.
everyone. No, I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. Some people just like
I need my
different
f***ing space, bro.
Yeah. But
I tried my hardest. Don't get me wrong, I tried.
it was day 3.
No, it wasn't.
What day was it?
It was like we were like a weekend.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. And like people like me and I feel like Juicy.
You also
we
also know that I'm a nest bro. I'm like a bird.
Yeah, I know.
I like being at home.
Like we go camp.
Anytime I have to leave my home, dude.
We go camping and you're like, I need a shower, right? Where I'm like, bro, put me in the river and a bar of soap. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I like getting filthy. I like getting on like.
Again, they're listing the reasons why this just did not work. Does not mean it's paranormal. I don't think they were outright trying to make it sound like it was paranormal, but they said, the coincidences and that negativity around the paranormal is always something people like to connect. You guys just completely answered all of the problems perfectly. You did it perfectly.
Mental grinds where it's
You just debunked it.
it's like, you know, when you go to the gym and the next day you wake up, your muscles, you can barely sore, everything hurts, but you feel that kind of like, that feels good, like no pain, no gain. I get that mentally, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I'm working so hard that I can barely even think or breathe or anything like that, and I'm starting to like come undone at the seams, I feel good because I know that I'm putting in the work.
I also feel like I'm a little different in a sense now where I'm like, working since I was 14 as a chef, and then like YouTube pops off and my dad dies, and I feel like I've been grinding my whole life, and now I'm in this like comfortable area,
and
anytime some brings me out of that, I get so mad because I like being comfortable and I like being like in my own. Like I bought my house, I worked hard for that shit. I love being at home, right?
Yeah.
Anytime someone takes me out of that shit, I get frustrated.
Let's be honest, like the bus was designed for us to be uncomfortable.
We really set ourselves up for failure with this one.
For success. That's what makes an interesting show, bro.
But
no one wants to see us like playing our Switch 2s for 2 weeks straight.
Oh, I would have loved to do that though.
Yeah, everyone would have loved to do that, but
then we didn't have no internet. We couldn't even play them.
No, the Starlink. Goddamn.
I'm a comfortable person.
I know.
I'm a
You're
materialistic
a cozy fella.
motherfucker when it
You
comes
should
to
see
that.
his
Look at how he's sitting. He's got pillows around him. He looks like he's a bird sitting in a nest.
theater room.
If I don't got a solid Wi-Fi connection and a phone charger, I get angry.
You seen that Treehouse of Horror episode, Homer? No TV and no beer make Homer something something.
That's me.
That's Mully.
That is me. No, that's me.
No Wi-Fi and no Milky make Mully crazy.
Dude, if I don't got video games, an internet connection, and a phone, I'm out of there, dude.
Look, I think to summarize it all, there was lots of cooking factors. There was like, it's the stress, the project stress, the time factor, the financial and investment factor.
It's
There was
also
all
just, it's also like everyone's in the same boat, so you can't just go and vent to someone.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you go vent to someone about your drama, they're in the same boat.
Yeah, yeah. Then there's also like the scary factor, you know what I mean? It was the,
Yeah, because you don't want to sound like you're bitching while they're the ones sitting there like, I got this. Why you bitch? Then you feel kind of bad about it. Yeah, I get that.
some dark shit happening. I don't know. There's definitely an argument to be made there. There's shit that happened on that bus that I've never had happen before, and we literally asked for it.
Yeah.
And like, to put it all together, I think I look back on it and I'm like, it's a great series. It's entertaining. It was what we wanted. It was raw. It's the perfect little vlog series.
Yeah.
And I'm super proud of like coming together, and because it's we'll probably all five of us will talk about it together on some kind of video one day. So I don't want to get too much into details, but I could talk about it for hours, But I think the main thing to get across from it is we are sweet again. We're good, aren't we?
I thought Josh was like trying to lean in for a hug.
Yes.
I've put it down like this. We are not friends. We're more like brothers at this stage. You know what I mean? It's like we're family now.
You ever have a punch up with your brother over Xbox and a week later you're fine? That's what happened.
Our lives are so interweaved that like that's just
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it.
Nah, I get ya.
We're like business partners, but we're not just business partners. We hang out like 3 times a week as well.
We also were friends before we were successful.
Yeah.
So,
but I think like there's
Just be careful, because success is known to actually ruin special things. So like, just don't let it ever get to that point, because that's what it can do. I understand you guys like pulling pranks on each other. I like you guys like pushing the boundaries sometimes, but one of these days you might push it too far and something bad will happen. So like, just be cautious about that.
nothing to stress about.
Don't worry.
Holy shit,
The dads
that
are back together.
So we're gonna go over some of these comments, dude.
We had a broken family for
For a week. For a week, it was like 10 million views in a week. Bro,
You know,
you know
sometimes
the crazy thing for me? I'll go on YouTube and seeing someone talking about the Mully and Josh drama. Someone did a 17-minute video on my 90-second TikTok.
Sometimes you just have a...
It was me. Well, it's good to know that he watched it. I mean, that's fucking nice. Sorry about that, man.
Britney moment.
I was about to shave my head.
Sometimes you have a Britney moment and you just kind of like don't think and you just do, and that's
was
what we
fucking
did,
me.
you know. So Josh said you haven't replied to any of his messages. It's not both of you, it's you.
I just want you to know, like, we are not the type to get like bent out of shape over comments. It is genuinely
No,
I don't give a
so
to be
entertaining.
frankly blunt, I never pay attention to the comments, only because I know it would like, you know, make me just. I mean, thankfully, I got to the point where I just don't give a fuck anymore. So like, if you don't like me, that's fine. Just leave. Fuck it. Bye.
It's
to
funny.
read like what people say. Right, if we were bent out of shape by comments, I would have quit YouTube 8 years ago, man.
I agree.
You can't let it get to you.
Bruh, this is beyond childish, Mully. You're actually being a f***ing baby right now. We all saw the footage. It wasn't that bad. Are you actually
was
ruining
bad.
this shit because of some drunk behavior?
Like, don't get me wrong. It was like it got bad. It did for that moment. And if Josh continued, who knows what would have happened. So thankfully, Juicy pulled him out. But
Bruh.
Most of these comments are just don't break up, it says.
Pretty much.
Josh, I think Mully has an attachment of a demon. That's why he's so angry. I personally
True.
am not totally convinced that's not the case, by the way. If just that one thing happened and the whole trip went perfectly, I would say it's bullshit. But the series of events that happened on that bus, particularly from episode 4 onwards.
well, hopefully you watch this video. I do think you guys debunked it by saying literally all of the problems that you guys had going into it. The stress behind your work, literally you are asking for something bad to happen. And like you said, you were asking for it. You were asking for it. So,
Kind of like, we were like, even the bus driver was the one that was like, I've done hundreds of these trips and I ain't never seen shit like this happen before.
Nah.
I'm not even going to say it, but at the end of the whole series, he was a little freaked out, man. He wanted the bus cleansed, bro.
Yeah.
He really wanted the bus cleansed, man. Anyway, if you'll see it all, so I don't want to do any spoilers. Yeah, look, I'm touched. Most of the comments are just, y'all are joking, right? This can't be real. I'm sorry. Are you happy now? Are you
Yes.
satisfied?
Yes.
Should we get back to filming bangers together again?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Go to greengang.com.
oh yeah, they're selling that Green
because
Gang merch.
we're doing some crazy shit on greengang.com. I know it kind of got overshadowed by the Trip of Terror, but Green Gang's back.
All right, I'm going out. I'm going to go shit, bro.
Can you at least take your mic off before you go on
Yeah.
shit?
Yeah.
That was it. So that was kind of nice, nice little touch right there, kind of admitting that he watched my video, because I did turn that into like a 17. I can't stop talking, man. When I start fucking talking about something, I talk. That's one of my better traits, I think, is that I can make a conversation last. That's pretty good. It was a pretty good back and forth. I do think with the whole debunker moment right there where he talked about the debunkers and he says he actually does like that shit. He called them theories, which I guess that's true to an extent, but most of the time I feel like when you throw the logic over the paranormal, you actually do debunk it, and if it does make a logical sense, that's what you should go with instead of calling it a ghost. I know it's a lot more fun to call it a ghost, but I don't think everything's a ghost. Yeah, no, when I talk about stuff, I genuinely do I talk. So, having said that, like, I just turned this video into an hour-long video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I'll see you all in the next one. Do take care. I think it's officially over, so this is probably the last time we're ever going to even talk about this subject. Awesome deal. Fantastic to hear. I'll see you all in the next one. Do take care.